Open up the door, it's Dave!
Who?
Dave! D-A-V-E!
Dave?
Right, man, Dave.
Dave's not here.
Here's something most people don't think about when they get a new car, and that's about data privacy. Now, I know I've talked about this topic a little bit in the past, but here's the thing. Every new car these days has a camera that's facing inside the car in some way, where it looks into the cabin and can see you. And also, because of the Bluetooth technology where you're able to connect your phone to the car, there are microphones inside the car, and they are able to pick up things happening inside the car. So your privacy inside your vehicle no longer exists. In fact, that's the camera right there that's inside the Tesla. And of course, the microphones are up here. When you're using the Bluetooth to connect, that's where the microphone is picking up your voice. So between those two things, they're getting a lot of information about you. And I've shown you videos of me sitting in the car before when I was using the Sentry mode. So you know that it can be used and what they can see. So that's kind of a problem, right? In fact, most of the car manufacturers have decided that they can harvest this data and use it for their own purposes. There's a billion-dollar industry about collecting information about consumers and using it for any sort of means that the car companies want. And the problem is you don't really know what that is and how they can use it because there's no privacy policy that's in place, nothing you can review, and nothing you can opt out of. Just because you have the car, they have the right to take care of everything and know what's happening in your car. So it's a huge gap in privacy. Now, the European Union has a better fundamental understanding of privacy and what's going on there, and is going after car companies for using this data in some way. But here's the challenge. The car companies believe that they can use it for whatever they want. Subaru, when asked about this specifically, said, oh, yeah, you know, you're implicitly saying by getting in the car that you're allowing us to use your data. That's it. There's nothing about it. Just by riding in the car, whether you're a passenger or you're a driver, they can grab your data and use it. And what data are they collecting? Well, this is the surprising part. They look at your driving habits, your history, how much you weigh when you get in the car. That's weird. What happens in conversations within the car, what happens through the video in the car. And there was a privacy concern that came up. There was a couple of different cases where someone had sexual activity in the car, and that was filmed and then released in some way, at least to the employees of the company, though it may have been released further out onto the internet. So there's a huge privacy thing going on there. A couple of the car companies have said, we'll just turn information over to law enforcement if they ask for it. We don't need a court order. We can just give it to them if they want. Wait a minute, what? What about privacy and court orders and, you know, the right to privacy as a consumer when you're inside the car? And that's the challenge, is that this is not well defined at this point, and they are using it in any way they want. One of the car manufacturers, I want to say it was Toyota, but I'm not positive about that, said that they wanted, no, I'm sorry, it was Volkswagen, excuse me. Volkswagen said that they wanted to use the data from your voice and the things that you say to target you with ads in the future, so they know who you are and what your likes and dislikes are, so they can target you for advertising. That's really weird, and I have big concerns about that. Now, I know when I got my Tesla, it has the camera, it has the microphones, and they're probably listening to me record this right now. And I understand that, and I implicitly agree to it, and agree to let my data be shared because I'm trying to help the ecosystem that's building better cars. So I get it. But it does concern me to a large degree that the voice and the video can be used similarly. And I don't like it, and I have issues with it, and I have a big privacy concern. So I just wanted to share that with you as sort of a thought. When you're thinking about your car and what it has and what you can do, remember that there's a camera and there's a microphone in there. So be relatively careful and be mindful of what the car companies can capture about you and what they can use that for, because they feel that they have the right to sell all that data about you to anybody they want to make money. And that's a problem. We as citizens need to stand up to that and say, wait a minute, that can't be right, and there's got to be more going on. So I would encourage you to read into this a little more, contact your legislators, and let them know that you're concerned about what's happening in privacy in cars. And that's my story for this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. And remember, if we can dream it, we can certainly do it. Bye now.
What's your point, David?